Ah, yes, the 2020 Legos Island events. To be honest, I'm not sure if there's more events this year than there were in 2019. We'll have to take a look and see. But this year on Legos Island for 2020, my god, even though 2020 did suck in real life itself, in Legos Island though, it was awesome. As there were so many awesome events, and even some brand new ones, like the Operation Evil Cluck versus Evil Sheet Leader War. Oh yeah, even Operation Evil Cluck itself, which is also returning this February in 2021 on Legos Island itself now. Um, what else was there? There was also Legos Island Summer was an absolute blast, even though it didn't really feel the same as previous years. At least Evil Cluck wasn't there. It was also the Legos Island Summer where we get the most done. But I'll get to all of that later. For now, though, let's take a look at see what we did this past year in Legos Island in the year of 2020. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. And it's a little funny because I am literally using the footage from the New Year's party of last year. So yeah, that's what, if you're curious what the footage is from, yeah, there you go. Speaking of which, that's literally the first event of the whole year, so let's get started. Oh, this is gonna be a long vid. You can already see it. It's like 11:19 at night and I should have filmed this a lot earlier. The reason I didn't is just because I completely forgot. But I am glad I found out now that it's almost midnight because people probably would have commented saying I forgot about this. But nope, here it is. Okay, now let's get into it before I'm here until like 1 a.m. or something. Or even like midnight. The point is, let's get started. So yes, indeed, the New Year's party. Obviously, first event of the year, and was the same here in 2021, of course. So with that being said, it started on January 1st and was originally meant to end on January 4th. However, it ended 4 days later than that on January the 8th. Why did it end 4 days late? Well, it's because I completely forgot to take it down. So yeah, that was my fault. Of course, this New Year's party was completely different from the previous. Of course, the color, the colors being used were obviously different because the previous year it was yellow and dark blue. Yep, the color theme was changed to orange and light blue. But that was cool. Also, a few more areas were actually decorated this time, I think. Trying to find the footage and see if that were correct. 1 second, I'm just looking it up. Nah, I'm pretty sure they were all pretty much the same places, just different decoration-wise. But this was a great way to start off the year. We did the same thing in 2021. Of course, the colors were obviously different for that too. And I think this might have been the New Year's party to probably have the most decoration, as I think there were more areas at the time. Well, yeah, there was, because we created so many in 2019. Yeah, I think this was the New Year's party probably to have the most decoration into it. I think, at least. It was still a great way to start off the year, and without further ado, let's move on to the next event. Before I'm here for over 2 hours. The next event in 2020 for Legos Island is the Maze 2nd anniversary. It's a little funny because we're about to hit the Maze 3rd anniversary in like almost a day because it's almost about to be the 17th and the anniversary is on the 18th. So we're about to hit 3 years in like 2 days. So that's impressive that I'm talking about that like now as we are about to approach 3 years of the Maze in like 2 days. That's funny. Anyway, you're probably wondering how long did this go and what happened? Well, in this, it started on January 18th and came to an end on January 25th, lasting exactly a week like the last one for the 1st anniversary. Now, what happened in this one? Well, first off, the cave tunnels made a return from the previous Maze anniversary from 2019. And there was also some brand new armor. And yes, obviously, decoration-wise was completely different. Everything was different. Well, decoration at least was different. And I'm also going to make sure of that this year. You've already seen where things were going recently with this. Well, you'll find out what I have planned for 3 years on the 18th. Which is, again, in almost a day, as it's almost the 17th. And like I said before, the anniversary is on the 18th. So, With that being said, yeah, there was brand new armor, and they were hidden scattered throughout the, oh, right, they were scattered throughout the, tunnels that were dug up on the island. Whoa, did not mean to do that. But yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, more areas were decorated this time compared to the, the last one. Sorry that I keep getting things messed up. It's really late. I'm not even tired at all for some reason. That's weird. I should be tired by now. But no, I am still completely fine. But yeah, a few more areas were decorated compared to the last one, and it was pretty cool. Again, like I said, the piece of armor, which is what I was wearing in that video, or actually, yeah, I was. I think at least. But they were scattered again throughout the secret tunnels that were presented around a year prior. So that was very cool. Not much else really changed aside from that. It was almost exactly the same as the first anniversary, aside from new armor and just more rooms being decorated and a few decoration differences. But other than that, it was pretty much exactly the same as the previous one. And I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the case again for the third anniversary, although you never know with me. Oh, hold on just 1 second. One thing I should have mentioned. Oh, give me a second. Hold on, I gotta pull up the footage really quick. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the maze torches changed from regular torches to redstone torches. Oh, and if you're curious about what it's happening this year with those, what are the torches going to be this year? Well, it's of course going to be the soul torches, since those are the most recent torches that have been added to the game, as of last year. So, yep, that is something you should be here to know about. Just wanted to tell you that in advance, just in case you guys forget. Oh yeah, that icon will also return again too in this year's. And well, that's all I gotta say. Let's move on to the next event, which this one is the first brand new event of 2020, which means it's the first new event of 2020. Whoa, I almost stopped the recording there. Whoa. Okay, let's move on before I accidentally do that again. I literally almost stopped filming. Glad I didn't fully click stop record, otherwise I would have had to start all over again. The next event was Operation Meltdown, and unfortunately it's not coming back this year, but maybe next year, because I already have this entire year planned out for Legos Island. So, yeah, unfortunately we're not seeing Operation Meltdown this year, but again, maybe next year. Because again, I already have this whole year planned out for Legos Island. And, yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, right. No wonder I'm not hearing any sound. It's because I actually have the video muted so I can talk over that. Okay. So, guys, Operation Meltdown, you guys. Holy frick. This was crazy. This was absolutely nuts. You not know what we had to do in this beautiful event? First off, I'll show you now. Icy, yes, Icy, came with us to help us bring back all the snow that ESL melted all over the island. Also, some brand new rooms were introduced called the Ice Core rooms, and they are still here today as they're obviously permanent rooms of the island. But of course, they are only opened temporarily and will be again for the 4th anniversary party of Legos Island in March of 2021. So, why was this event so big? Well, first off, Evil Sheet Leader melted pretty much anywhere that had snow. For example, look around here. Yep, the whole mountain was melted. And, of course, we had to dig down into the Ice Core rooms, which you see here in the footage, if you remember, from a year ago. Actually, almost a year ago. We're actually coming up to a year. This month, actually. I'll tell you how long it was in just a second. But yep, see? The Ice Core rooms were officially introduced in this event. We had to take the fire out of them and replace them with the original Ice Core to make the island snow again. on their specific melted areas. And if any of you are, and I mean seriously generally curious to know what it means, well, have yourselves a look. Take a look. Yep. After putting in the ice core, icy would make places that are melted snowy again. You would create a snowstorm that makes all the snow come back onto the mountain. So, of course, the mountain could be snowy again. And any other specific area that was melted in this event by Evil Sheet Leader. In total, 12 areas were melted. Actually, sorry, 11 areas were melted. Because the 12th one was just the boss battle. Yeah, the 12th mission was just the boss battle against ESL. So 11 areas were melted. And it was absolutely insane. We finally revealed something that Icy had all along, which was the ability to create snowstorms if places were melted on the island that normally had snow on them. So that was cool that we finally got to see a secret ability inside Icy. So that was brand new and never seen before. It all started on January 25th and came to an end on February 6th. Lasting 12 days. And P.S., there were missions every single day of the event all the way up until it ended. Hence why it lasted 12 days. And hence why there were also 12 missions. Next up is an event that was meant to really only last one day, although it actually didn't. It actually lasted 4 days instead. This was the time travel party. Now, why was this a thing? Well, I didn't really plan it up until we almost got to it, so yeah. It lasted 4 days instead of one because during the time this event was going on, I was away from home at the time on last year's cruise. Which, again, if I haven't already mentioned, there's not going to be any of those this year, sadly, for kind of obvious reasons, because I can't do them now. At least for this year. But anyway, the point is, this event lasted on February 6th, which was exactly a year, and this is why it happened. It has celebrated the 1-year anniversary since the island was corrupted. It lasted from February 6th and ended on the 10th, which is also when I came back home from that beautiful 4-day cruise. That was last year's cruise vlogs. So, yep, it ended the day I came back because, of course, during the 4 days between February 6th and 10th, I was not even here. I even filmed the video right before I even left. So that's why it seemed obvious that the video was filmed then. So this here explained why this whole thing happened in the first place. And a little fun fact, in the meantime, guess what you could do? This ability gave you the ability to go exactly a year back to when the corruption originated from the island, and it was super cool. Of course, it only lasted for those 4 days. Originally meant to only be 1 day, until I realized I wasn't going to be home at the time. So, yeah. Yep, we could travel exactly a year prior to the Corruption Day, which was, again, February 6th of 2019. It was a very cool mini-event. Great way to celebrate the Corruption anniversary. And for any of you who are curious, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be doing anything to celebrate 2 years this year. Now, why is this? Well, honestly, I really can't think of anything good enough. Unless you guys can think of something, I have no idea what I'm going to do this year to celebrate that. Yeah, I have no idea if I'm even going to do anything to celebrate that this year. Probably not, and if not, then I apologize. But if I do come up with something cool, then I guess I might be able to throw something in, a little something special. But I don't think it'll be as big as what we did last year. No, there is no way I'm going to be able to recreate what we did last year. No, that took a long time to do. Let's move on, though. Next up was the Valentine's Day party of 2020. It started on February 13th and came to an end on the 18th. So, yeah, that's cool. And yes, of course, obviously there will be one this year, although it will only be lasting for 3 days, February 12th, 13th, and 14th, to last all of Valentine's Day weekend, since I realized Valentine's Day this year in 2021 is on a Sunday, so that gave me the perfect opportunity for just it to last entirely of Valentine's Day weekend. One thing I completely forgot is that Operation Evil Club 2021 will be going on at the time. So it's going to be pretty small this time. Alright, I just wanted to throw that in. Anyway, this time in 2020, however, the whole island was decorated completely differently. And I think there were more items, I believe. I don't know. I'm going to go watch back the video maybe sometime soon. Yes, there were also brand new custom made items for Valentine's Day. The whole island was covered in pink, as you could have clearly noticed. The path was all roses, and it was a very, and I mean seriously, very cool way to celebrate Valentine's Day for this year. I have no idea what I'm going to do this year for 2021. However, remember, it's going to be pretty small as Operation Evil Cluck will be going on at the time. So don't expect it to be too big like previous years. Because at the time, Evil Cluck and Evil Sweet Leader will both be destroying the island at the time during the war event that goes on during the first week of Operation Evil Cluck. So don't expect anything big this year for Valentine's Day thanks to that. But hey, I planned that. I planned Operation Evil Cluck for a while back, actually. Anyway, I even planned the original one from 2020. And yes, we'll get to that later. Anyway, back to this. I'm going to stop mentioning about this year. So, yeah, like I said again, the entire island was once again decorated for Valentine's Day. It was very cool. It was the third time, I believe, that the island was decorated for Valentine's Day. It was also the first time to have the medieval park decorated. And it was seriously, and I mean seriously, very cool. Just to see that the whole island was decorated in a completely different Valentine's Day theme. Also, the pink hearts were introduced as decoration. And remember how I said last year in the video that the purple hearts will be coming? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that. You'll be seeing those later on when we get to the Valentine's Day event. So, be on the lookout for that. Anyway, some brand new items again were released. Brand new decorations with most of the island being covered in pink, which was very cool. And the pink hearts were introduced. It was just brand new, so much fun to create. And who knows again what I'm doing this year. But again, remember, it's going to be pretty small because we're going to have a war going on at the time. So, some rooms will only be decorated. Not many, but I'll try my best to see how many I can get in. Anyway, with that being said, well, that's all I got to say for this one. Let's move on, actually. Next up, we actually got a combination of 3 different events. I'll talk about all 3 of them. The first one was Operation Wilderness. The 300 episode party for Legolas Island. It started on February 21st and came to an end on February 24th. This was a 3-day event to celebrate 300 episodes of the Legolas Island series. And don't worry, we will be hitting 500 episodes later on this year for Legolas Island, so be on the lookout for that. But we're still a little far away from that, so don't expect that anytime soon. Anyway, this party did not feature as much as the previous milestone party, but I can at least say, oh my god, I even went to the next clip. Well, give me a second. Let me make myself a little bit easier. Okay. There we go. We got a good clip. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. So yeah, the 300 episode party obviously offered items from the last 100 episodes since hitting 200. So that was very cool. Also, this was the first ever milestone party not to have any inside rooms decorated. Nope, it was only the outside. And not that many rooms were actually decorated. Only decoration-wise, you could say, is that there were free item bins around the island. And that was pretty much it, aside from a few other small decorations, but not too much was added. So, yeah, that's cool. Well, not much else to say about that one. Let's move on to the second event that occurred in this free event thing that all started February 21st. My God, that was crazy. That was a crazy week. Actually, a crazy 2 weeks to be exact. This next one was the Mountain Expedition 2020, but technically it was actually the Tallest Mountain second anniversary event, or whatever it was called. Okay, yeah, it was called the Mountain Expedition 2020. And by the way, those anniversary items are still there today, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to be removing those. So yeah, don't expect that. I don't know. Maybe I might finally do it after a whole year. I don't know. We'll see. It was originally meant to also be removed once this was over. It started on February 21st. Yes, that day again. But this time, it ended March 5th, 2020. Yep. It ended on March 5th. And it only just celebrated the 2-year anniversary since the first ever mountain expedition. It also celebrated 2 years since I climbed that tallest mountain for the first time. And no, this was not the only decoration down here. No, there was more than there was here. Take a look at the top of the mountain, to be exact. Yep, the top of the mountain was decorated as well, but not as much as previously. And there were also a few small mountains, a few tiny mountain cutouts for a reference to the original mountain expedition. And if you're curious if there's going to be any of that this year, absolutely not, because, again, Operation Evil Cluck 2021. So yeah, that's really cool. And that's all I gotta say. There were still a few mountain items related there, and of course that anniversary hat was available there. But not much else to say about that. It was just to celebrate 2 years as the tallest mountain, and since our first ever mountain expedition. That is it. Let's move on to the third and final event, which was actually the main event of the whole month. And this, you might hear a repeat from 2019, as it's literally the same one, just a little bit different. Take a look. Finally, but not least, Operation Wilderness. And no, it's not coming back this February, but that does not mean I forgot about it. It's coming back actually in April. Yup, it's being delayed till April. For one reason. Again, Operation Evil Cluck 2021. Why could I just not fit it into that? Well, it's because I want to fit in Operation Legos Island during the time of Operation Wilderness that would be normally going on. Yes, Operation Legos Island is officially confirmed for the final phase of Operation Evil Cluck. Just want to be clear. Yep, Operation Legos Island for this year is in February. And yes, will actually, be completed, just like the last one. So, yep, Operation Wilderness, everybody. Look at this. See? We had to save the dogs from being captured like the previous Operation Wilderness. We also had to go through all the challenges again. Well, not really, actually. Or did we? Yes, we did, actually. This time, instead of having to just go through all the challenges just to save all the dogs, which technically was kind of the same thing here, but the difference was this time, Evil Cluck took all the beacons out of the wilderness and hid the pieces of them around the island, making it hard for me to find them. Of course, as you all know, obviously I found them all, and we restored the beacons of the wilderness. Of course, they've all been restored ever since. They have not been taken out, and will never happen again because I'm too good like that. But yup, Evil Cloak just took all the beacons out of the wilderness. I had to find them all and restore them in each mission. And, yeah, it was pretty interesting. Now, for this year's Operation Wilderness, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. All I know is that it's going to be in April of this year, instead of the usual February. Also, one more thing I want to mention, this year's Operation Wilderness will be the last one for quite a while, as I kind of want to take a little bit of a break from that one. So this year's will be the last one for a while, the one you're seeing in April this year. Yeah, I just want to give you a little warning that it will be the last one for a little while, as I kind of want to take a little bit of a break from that one, as I'm also starting to run out of ideas for Operation Wilderness. So, yeah, just letting you know about that. But don't worry, it's not going to be gone forever. Just maybe at least for a year or something after this one. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up about that. Anyway, it started also, once again, for the third time in a row, on February 21st, and ended the exact same day as the mountain expedition, March 5th. And well, that is it. Let's move on to the next one, which is actually a very small one. Next up, as I said, it would be small. It is the Wilderness 1-year anniversary mini-event. It only occurred at the bridge, and, well, it occurred only at the Bridge of the Wilderness, the one that you take to go into the wilderness. You know, the one where I had to reverse the Surround Mode spell in Legos Island Summer 2 years ago, in 2019. All there really was just a cake with a few banners, the bell, and just an anniversary hat. And a few torches. That was it. Nothing else to say. It only lasted one day. February 22nd, and that is all that needs to be said about this. Just celebrated a year since the wilderness opened, and that is all you need to know. Nothing else too special about it. Now let's move on to the actual next event. And yes, I'm not going to fully play the footage because there's no reason to. You can still watch the original video though if you want. It is this one right here. Yep, this one. So yep, there's your proof. Alright, we're done here. The next one is the Event Room 2nd Anniversary Party. This is how it looks. Looked pretty interesting. It obviously celebrated 2 years of the Event Room. Don't worry, I'll do that again this year for 3 years, or any of you ask. Not much else was really shown around here, aside from, well, not really much there. Oh yeah, that was also decorated too, as well. Oh yeah, I forgot. Operation Slime. We'll get to that in a second. But the Event Room anniversary lasted from March the 6th, which is actually, oh, sorry guys. Operation Wilderness actually ended on March 6th. Sorry about that. I accidentally said March 5th. It actually ended March 6th. My bad, because that's also when it went down. But, oh well. That's okay. Anyway, that's it for this one. It started on March 6th, and it came to an end on the 9th. Now, on to the actual next event that actually occurred when Operation Wilderness ended. And that was Operation Slime. Why was Operation Slime such a big deal at the time? Well, actually, it's because Evil Cloak originally planned it during the Event Room anniversary. The first place he attacked for Slime here was indeed the Event Room. Looked pretty obvious, and also this was the same day I did unflood all that snow. So, hold on, trying to find the footage. Ah, here it is. Oh yeah, I wasn't too active during this event, as, yeah, not much happened. Almost nothing happened during Operation Slime. We didn't even complete it till a few weeks later. But that didn't really stop me from really doing much with it. But yeah, we just had to de-slime the island as time went on, and of course, obviously this was all behind Evil Cloak, which just made his, reappearance at Operation Wilderness, and then did it again here at Operation Slime. And no, before any of you are curious, this is not coming back this year because, again, I already have the whole year planned. Also, Evil Cluck did not confirm that this would be coming back this year. So, thank God, because I don't want to do that again. You know what other event I don't want to do all over again? Operation Go. My God, that was a nightmare to make. I do not want to be doing that again. I mean, it was easier at Zoya's Up 2. And no, I'm not thinking of having that there again. Although maybe one day, because we're actually about to hit 3 years since that originally occurred by Evil Street Leader. I don't know. Anyway, if you're curious how long Operation Slime went, it originally was meant to end on the 13th of March. However, it actually ended on March 20th, exactly 2 weeks later, because we didn't actually finish it until March 20th. So, yeah, and we also finished it in the first episode of Season 8 of the Big Brother series. And yes, if you're curious if that's ever coming back, oh, don't worry, it's going to come back soon. We're going to finish it this year. Now that we know the land can work, we can actually finish it now. Oh yeah, also some repeat slime items came out from the 2019 Halloween event, such as the slime armor, so stuff like that came back just because it was the only thing slime related. And that's really all you need to know about this one. Next! Wait, forgot to mention, here's more footage of me cleaning up the slime in Operation Slime for more proof that this was not a joke about Operation Slime. It isn't not even a joke. It's actually true. Yup. There is more proof that Operation Slime wasn't a joke when I said the whole island was covered in slime. Yep, there you go. That's your proof. The next event to occur, though, and I'm just going to keep the footage paused so I can just talk about it, it is the dog park 1 year anniversary. So, yep. It only lasted the one day of March 8th, because that was also the 1 year anniversary since the dog park was created, although it did take around a day to finish. And if you're curious if I'm doing anything for that this year, don't worry. I haven't forgotten about the second anniversary of that. Don't worry, I'll make a small little celebration there. So yeah, don't worry. And that's also going to be 4 days after Operation Evil Cluck ends, so that's cool. But I haven't forgotten about it, don't worry. It just celebrated 1 year of the dog park. The only reason I'm not going to play really much of the footage is just because there's generally no reason to. But like that wilderness, the 1 year of the wilderness video, I still have the video up right here as we speak. Oh wait, what was this again? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Operation Freeze. Speaking of which, that's coming back this year. And it also did occur in 2020. I'll get to that later. You know, we're actually making some pretty good progress. It's only 11:55 and we're already into March already. Impressive, actually. So, not much with this event. It was just to celebrate a year of the dog park. Not much to say about this one, but you can still go watch the video for yourself. Actually, go watch all the videos that include these events because they're very cool and interesting. Trust me, if you do, that would be awesome because it would really show what all these events truly were. Anyway, moving on. Next up is the Pi Day event. And yes, this was one of the videos to be filmed on my phone entirely. So, this one, how long did this go actually? I do not remember. Hold on, we'll see in a second. But areas such as the lodge were decorated. And I think those were the only areas to be decorated, I believe. But I don't know, could be wrong. I think these were the only areas to be decorated this time. I don't know, don't remember. What I do know is that the whole lodge was decorated again, as I mentioned. Well, it wasn't in the previous one, but it was here. And yes, there is going to be one obviously coming this year. And by the way, this year's St. Patrick's Day party, they will actually be both merged into one. So you don't have to worry about two separate events. Nope, I got it planned. I'm going to merge both into one just to make it more interesting. So some rooms will be Pi Day rooms, and the other will be St. Patrick's Day rooms. But just to expect to have most of them be St. Patrick's Day rooms. Just to be clear about that. Anyway, this one obviously started March 14th. And when did it end? Never mind, the underground party room was also decorated. Wait, the campsite was decorated too. Nice. My god, even the other side of the island. That was a lot. Oh, nice! It started on March 14th and ended on the 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, so yeah, that was next. The St. Patrick's Day party of 2020, 17th, and was originally meant to end on the 22nd. However, it ended on the 24th because I forgot to take it down on the 22nd. This year's was something. It was definitely probably the most greenest St. Patrick's Day ever. Of course, it wasn't too crazy as the previous year, and yes, I will be bringing back all those emeralds and gold. Actually, I might just mix them together. In fact, there was almost no gold around here. Okay, maybe there might have been some, but most of it was actually emeralds, and not as much green paths, because most of it was emerald. But I did manage to put some gold in here too. So the whole island was obviously decorated in green once more for like the third time in a row. Don't worry, same thing will happen again this time. Oh, and this time March is actually going to be a pretty good month actually this time. Oh god dang it, I missed the resort footage. Where the frick is that? There it is. There it is. Yeah, it looks more emerald themed. And it looked absolutely amazing. Seriously. Is it just me or are these events getting better and better? I mean, come on. Take a look at the theme park, for example. And yes, there is finally some gold there. That was there in this event, so that was cool. So yeah, basically the same thing as the last 2 years, just the whole island was decorated in green, but of course in different ways. Because of course I gotta change everything up at some point. Also, the St. Patrick's Day banner was even more green than it ever could be. And also, some areas were finally given even more green decoration to than the previous years. I mean, hold on. Look at this, for example. If you guys watch the original video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Mostly green. It was just beautiful. Okay, but seriously though, also this was the first St. Patrick's Day party not to have the village decorated. And also, some rooms were not decorated that normally would be in the St. Patrick's Day party because they were still covered in slime from Operation Slime. Also, this was also the first St. Patrick's Day episode to be filmed the day after St. Patrick's Day because I didn't get the event fully set up completely all the way up until the 18th. So, this was filmed the day after on the 18th because I didn't get it fully set up in time. Oh, and don't worry, this year's is starting a little bit earlier. I think around like the 14th, I believe? Or something like that. I don't know. But once again, I'm just going to say it was a pretty cool event. A little bit better than the previous year because we had a lot more stuff going on. More of it was green instead of gold, and that's a little bit better. So, with that being said, let's just move on to the next one, which is actually a pretty special one. But y'all know where this one is coming next. Of course, because it's, of course, the month of March at the time of filming this video right here, the anniversary party video, it was the 3rd anniversary of Legos Island. My god, this one was probably the biggest one we ever did. It even took me 2 videos to showcase because it was so big. Yup, the Legos Island 3rd anniversary party. Don't worry, obviously there's one planned for this year for 4 years. It started on March 25th and it came to an end on April 1st. Of course, actually, I can't say really of course like usual. No, this year was actually different. Guess what? All rooms on the island except for the port were decorated. Actually, all rooms except for the port and underground party room were decorated like past rooms from the last 3 years of the island. Oh, and trust me, it took like a few days to make this. No, this does not all happen in one night. No, it took like a few days to make all of that. Oh my god, I'm not doing that again this year. It was fun though, but it took forever to do. Um, but yeah, most of the areas were decorated like past designs from, you know, past things around the island. Yep, pretty much all the rooms on the island were decorated like past rooms from throughout LEGO's Island's history over the last few years. Of course, not really everything was showcased all on the same day, as, oh, right, like the second anniversary, all the temporary rooms came back, including the Ice Core rooms, which were previously available in January. So, yep, all the rooms were again decorated just like a past design from the last few years of the island. So it was very, very cool to see that. It was really, really nice to see how everything could turn out, and it's something that I don't know if I'm ever going to do again, but it'd be nice at some point. Not this year, because I want to do something else. And no, we're not just going to go with the usual anniversary decoration. No, we need a little bit more something special, regardless, in that case. So what can we do for the 4th anniversary that's special? I don't know, we'll have to find out. Now, of course, there was a second video. I'm going to pull up the footage now. Give me a minute. We're going to pull up the footage. Oh yeah, right, I forgot. There was a yearbook indeed. So, that was very cool. Yep, there was a yearbook, and then what I did was I showcased the rest of the rooms. Which, yep, more of the rooms just consisted of them being decorated. And again, like I said before, all of these were past rooms from LEGO's Island's history, and all items that were in these rooms that I put in here back then were all available due to them being the past rooms. It was very cool and interesting. It's not going to come back this year because it took so long to do last year. I'm going to have to think of something different to do for 4 years. But it will be pretty interesting, though, I will say. Anyway, let's move on to the next event, which this next one should be very obvious. The April Fool's Party was also a very cool event. It was a little bit different from the previous year, as it actually mostly consisted of portals. Oh, and there was also armor related to that, too. So yeah, this one mostly consisted of portals. It was pretty cool, pretty interesting, but I don't know what to say about it, honestly. It started on April 1st and came to an end on the 8th. So that's cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, some rooms were magenta and purple. Now why was this? Well, I forgot to mention a main key feature that happened in this event during the time. If there was a portal in the room would start going magenta and purple due to the decorations being very close to the portal. For example, you probably saw it in the lodge. And, well, if you hadn't managed to notice it already, hold on, let's see, can I find footage? Can I find footage? I'm looking for footage right now to show you proof. Okay, let's see if this is good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, multiple dimensions opened that scattered you to areas from very far away from the island. That was another main feature I forgot to mention. So yeah, you could travel to areas from very far away of the island or pretty close to it. That was also another really cool feature. And yes, that will come back this year if you're curious. And plus, all those portals are still intact today. Just gonna reopen them. So yeah. That's very cool and interesting, right? So yep. All of this is very interesting, very cool, very interesting, and it's really cool just to see how this looks. So, yeah. So, yeah, again, places from far away from the island were traveled to, And again, rooms that had portals in them did blend in at some point. But for example, right here, if I haven't shown you that yet, yep, rooms that had decorations blended in with the portals, making them magenta and purple, just because they were very close to the portal. Talking about the decoration wise. And decorations that were not as close to the portal were just the usual April Fool's decorations. They were very cool and interesting, but honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I might even bring back that concept again. Although we got one problem. Easter and April Fool's Day are 3 days apart this year in 2021. You know what that means, right? We gotta merge them together again. Just like 2018, but don't worry, I'll make it a little bit different, of course, obviously, because the island has changed a lot since 2018. Anyway, with that being said, I might even have some rooms fully even dedicated to Easter, just like the Earth Day party of 2019, I think. And last year was actually the first LEGO's Island event to have it fully being Easter, and just instead of having it being merged. Okay, that's just something. Oh yeah, that's actually our next event, so we can get to that actually right now, actually, speaking of which. Thankfully for myself for reminding myself about that. Let's get to that now. Yup, this was the first standalone Easter event on LEGO's Island, and my god was it a beauty to create. It started on April 10th and ended on the 13th. So, what was making this event so special? Why was it so special? First off, again, first ever standalone Easter event. Very cool and interesting. And of course, there were a ton of items and decorations around the island dedicating to the beloved day of Easter. Of course, I tried to mix as much Easter colors as possible to make it actually feel like Easter. And judging by what I did last year, and yes, actually, I'm probably going to bring that design back. I'm just wanting to let you know, that's probably going to come back, that design you just saw at the resort. Some of these designs are actually probably going to come back, actually. So be on the lookout for that this April. So yeah, that's cool. Oh my god, even that one should come back too, the theme park one. But remember, I gotta also merge it with April Fool's, so we got a bit of a challenge here. Anyway, yep, the whole island was decorated for Easter. It was very cool and interesting. And honestly, I don't know what else to say about it. It was just very cool. Of course, the Easter egg hunt obviously coincided with this, like usual, and will be again. Anyway, with that being said, not much happened with this besides the whole island being decorated for Easter, and of course having the Easter egg hunt again. But it was cool that it was also the first ever standalone Easter event. Some of the eggs were also pretty hard to find, so it was pretty cool to see a cool little bit of a challenge here. But it was also very cool to see the island finally decorated for Easter all by itself. That was the main part, and it was absolutely beautiful to create. Once again, it started April 10th and ended on the 13th. I know I already said that before, but I wanted to mention it again. And that is it for that event. Although, I must show you the village before I go on to the before I go on to the Earth Day event. That was also very interesting. The Earth Day event was also interesting. I'll get to that in just a second. Although actually, we got an anniversary one before we go to that one. Yep, the Easter village was also pretty awesome too. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that, so let's move on. Next up was the Blacksmith Shop 2nd Anniversary mini event. Not going to talk about this one long because it's not too interesting. But at least what I will say is that the Blacksmith Shop, yes indeed, was decorated for, of course, being celebrated for 2 years. We'll do something on the 14th to celebrate that again, but not as much. Well, I at least will say that. So with that being said, not much was here, but it was cool to see the Blacksmith Shop decorated for its anniversary again. It was only lasting the one day of the 14th. And that was it. So yeah, And that's all you need to know, because there wasn't really much to say about this one. Let's move on to the Earth Day event, for real this time. The Earth Day event. My god, that was beautiful. It's only 12:24 a.m. and we're not even an hour in and we're already into April, which also was the last event of April. The Earth Day party consisted of some brand new aspects, but it also opened up some brand new spots on the island. Also, such as the mountain finally having a clear spot on top. And for those who are curious to know what I am talking about, let me show you that. You guys are probably curious. Let me pull up footage. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about. One sec. Let me show you. Yep, right there. You see where the recycling plant was? Well, after the event ended, we got all of that space from where it was onto the mountain. And later on in the year, I did take advantage of that empty spot that we had because the recycling plant and did it for Camp Island later on in November of that year. That was very cool and interesting at the same time. Speaking of which, all three aspects from the Earth Day parties were all mixed into this event, making it feel a little more custom. And also, you might have noticed the recycling plant also returned for the first time after 2 years. It was also moved locations to the mountain. The reason behind that was because I didn't want to put it in the port again, as I felt, let's just change it up. The gardens were also all over the island. But not only that, the acacia trees from the previous year made a return. But something brand new was the lily pond. Well, the lily pad ponds that occurred all over the island. Also, a nice little feature behind that was all the banners and decorations that were near the lily pad ponds were changed to cyan when they were near the lily pad ponds. A pure good example for it is actually right there. Yep, you see that? Yep. If a banner was close to the lily pad pond, it would change from cyan. It would change from light blue to cyan, representing the lily pad ponds. Yep, there's your example. But anywhere that wasn't near it, and this was also a very similar reference to the portals, but anywhere that wasn't near it was just the normal Earth Day banners and stuff. But it was very cool to see this. It started on April 17th and was originally meant to end on the 24th. However, what was it? It was the St. Patrick's Day party. Just like that, I also forgot to take it down. So it ended 2 days later on the 26th. And I also did the recycling hunt like a few days late. On the same day that event ended too, for Earth Day. Very cool and interesting. Whole island was decorated in the Earth Day theme once again. Will be again this year. And yeah, it should be very cool and interesting to see what happens. At least for this year, that will also be the case. So with that being said, guys, not much else to say about it, aside from all three things being mixed in together. The gardens, recycling plant, acacia trees, and lily pad ponds. Now that is a really good Earth Day party. Who knows what I'm going to do this year, but it should probably be pretty cool. Should have also mentioned the village also looked pretty epic as well. That's it! Next up is the event that will be returning this February to LEGO's Island. Operation Evil Clock. This event was another brand new event, just like Operation Slime and Operation Meltdown. That's the third new event of 2020 for LEGO's Island, and I believe there was at least one more that occurred, which I think was that war between Evil Sheet Leader and Evil Cluck. I'm pretty sure that was the last new event of that year. Look, I don't remember. Oh wait, Operation Freeze was new, which actually did occur during this event. And I won't talk about those for too long, as I'm just literally just going to mix them all into this part of the vid. So, Operation Evil Cluck, it started on May 1st and was originally going to end on the 29th. However, because we didn't finish the last phase in time, it actually ended literally exactly a month later on June 1st. And yeah, that was crazy, right? It started all off with the underwater expedition, which that started on May 1st and ended on the 8th. Like the previous underwater expedition, it actually had most of the island flooded, which literally was almost all of it. It was pretty crazy. There were missions every day with some brand new items. And this was all inside Operation Evil Cluck. Oh yeah, speaking of Operation Evil Cluck, Evil Cluck himself flooded the island, froze the island, put vines and trees all over it, and messed up the timeline all of Legos Island in order to gain control. In fact, he gained control of the whole island during this thing for 4 weeks straight. Actually, for a whole month straight. It was pretty insane. I gotta say, that was definitely something that did not expect. But guess who decided to plan this event? Nope, not himself. Nope, not Evil Cluck himself. It was actually all my idea. And why did I come up with it? Well, it's actually because I wanted to finally come up with something new. Also, it's also because we had Lab Doom the year prior by Evil Sleep Leader. So why not make my own custom event based off of Evil Cluck's cool destruction attacks? And that's why I'm bringing it back this February, on February the 11th. Which, if I've not announced that to you yet, yes, Operation Evil Cluck will be happening this year on February 11th, if I haven't already mentioned it yet. But I will give you the full storyline of it on February the 10th in that update video. So that's cool and interesting. So, what else happened in Evil Cluck? Well, Operation Evil Cluck, well, have a look. The next phase of Operation Evil Cluck consisted of another brand new event called Operation Freeze. It started on May 8th and ended on the 15th. This time, the name should have been pretty obvious to the plot, Evil Cluck froze the whole island. Well, at least 7 areas of it. And it was pretty dang interesting to see what happened in this event. Icy, of course, joined along, and I also forgot to mention, I believe Aquamarine joined along in the underwater expedition. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention a cool key feature about Operation Evil Cluck last year. In the specific event, a specific dog for the underwater expedition, it was Aquamarine. In Operation Freeze, it was Icy. In the Adventure Party, which, yes, did come back after 2 years, and will be this year again in 2021. In November, actually, to celebrate 3 years since the first ever Adventure Party. So, yep, November is all confirmed. So, yeah, that was, the dog that came with us in the Adventure Party was Justin, the green-colored dog, and the last one, the Cool Cat 33 dog, came back in Operation LI 2020, which was the last phase, which we'll get to those other 2 I just mentioned in just a minute. The point is, Evil Cluck froze the whole island, and it was pretty dang insane, I must admit. Seriously, why was it so good? As you could have noticed, the whole island itself was frozen by Evil Cluck. It was pretty insane that it is coming back this year in Operation Evil Cluck. So be on the lookout for that. And just like this, it will also be the second phase. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I know, super awesome. So yep, I had to unfreeze all the rooms on the island to, melt all the ice so we could have all the rooms back to the way they should be. It was pretty cool, pretty awesome, and yeah, this was brand new. This was something very cool to have. And it is cool that it is coming back this year in 2021. And Evil Cluck confirmed that a while back. But that was before I decided to merge all of Operation Evil Cluck vs. ESL, then Operation Freeze, and Operation Legos Island all into one big event, which is still all coming next month in February. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to tell you. But I'll give you the full story again on February 10th's update video, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because there's more to what I just said there. What was the next thing Evil Cluck did in Operation Evil Cluck? Take a look. After 2 years, the Adventure Party finally came back to the island. It was a bit different. It started on May 15th and ended on the 22nd. This time, what Evil Cluck decided to do was, well, put vines all over the island to destroy each room. It was pretty awesome, but also pretty, destructive, I must admit. But even though it was just vines, I was able to clean them up pretty easily. There were obviously missions every day of the events, and the island looked pretty insane, actually, if you could tell by what Evil Cluck did. Yep, oh yeah, the bamboo was also brand new at the time, too. Well, at least for decoration-wise, and that had been out for over a year, so that's nothing new. But the bamboo was a new addition to the Adventure Party. The trees also came back, but all in different spots. Yep, all the buildings were covered in vines by Evil Cluck. It was pretty insane of what he did. Of course, there were obviously daily missions to get rid of all the vines, and it was pretty interesting how we did it. We decided to destroy all the vines in all rooms that were decorated for the Adventure Party. In total, there were 7 rooms, at least that were specifically designed for each mission. So, yeah. That was very cool. It was also very cool to finally see the Adventure Party return after 2 years. And again, like I just said earlier, we'll be again this November to celebrate 3 years since the first ever Adventure Party. And also 3 years since the Jungle Temple was first opened. Yep, that's cool, right? Giving you a little bit of some sneak peeks of what's to come this year. And yeah, that's very cool, right? So, moving on to the last part of Operation Evil Cluck, which was the only one never to be finished, but was eventually remade later in the year. The last one was never finished, but we at least tried. Operation Legos Island 2020. The original, of course, as we remade the event later on in the year, pretty much right after Legos Island Summer. But here, I'll talk about the original, and then later on, I'll talk about the remastered version, which actually was completed, if you were curious. I'll talk about that later. So yeah, with that being said, let's actually talk about it. Of course, all time periods were completely different. Like I said, this was never finished because I just didn't have too much time to really finish it all up. So we had to remake it later on. So yeah, at least I tried to finish it. And I never even did the 3rd mission because, I don't know. Oh yeah, our first time period was one that I will actually get to later. Or actually, no, sorry. I actually did that in our previous Legos Island Events episode, which was almost a year ago. So in this, you guessed it, pretty much the same plot as the original Operation Ally. Of course, just different time periods. Also, the time machine was also upgraded. And if I can get clear footage of this, show you. Yup, as you could see right here, the time machine was upgraded for this and was again for the remastered version. Although, actually, I'm sorry, it was actually the same one. Yep, like I said, more time periods were re-explored from the previous Operation Ally that were never re-explored prior to the original Operation Ally in 2019. And some of these included the following: March 27th, 2017, October 25th, 2017, which you never saw before this event, as I never made a video originally made for October 25th, 2017, so rip. I mean, for the original Ally Halloween, I never made a video originally, so I finally got to show you during this event. So, more included November 17th, 2019, November 18th, 2018, and Well, not really much else. That was pretty much it. Yeah, not too much was made. Oh, also June 1st, 2018. And yes, we did obviously have to fix certain time periods again, like the previous. Again, that's what these are known for. It was pretty interesting to just see what happened. Anyway, let's move on to the next event, which is actually, it's actually in the same video I have here. It is, take a look. Yeah, take a look. The Memorial Day party of 2020. It started on May 25th and came to an end. Actually, I don't remember. I think like May 27th or something. Look, I don't know. I don't even remember when this was taken down. I think like May 26th or something? I don't know. Huh. But yeah, it was cool to see Memorial Sheep again in this party. And yes, there will be one again this year. I do know when May 31st is. No, sorry, Memorial Day. And actually, yeah, speaking of which, yeah, it is May 31st this year, which is literally the day before this year's LI Summer. So that's pretty awesome. I am actually surprised because it's literally the day before LI Summer this year in 2021 is Memorial Day. So we'll literally have the Memorial Day event literally right before I decorate the island for summer. And I mean literally the day prior. Wow. So that's something. So with that being said, not much was in this event. It was pretty much just not really much being decorated. Just because we were still doing Operation LI at the time, so not much was decorated. But it was still pretty cool. With that being said, moving on to the next event, which this also next one is pretty small. Next up was the Cave of Adventures 1-year anniversary celebration. It started on May 28th and actually ended the day after, on the 29th, so it only went for like a day. So, yep. All it really was just to celebrate a year since the Cave of Adventures was introduced on the island, and I will still do the same thing this year for 2 years. But yeah, that's really all. Just only a few items released, and just a ton of cakes all around. There really wasn't much to this one, so we're just gonna move on right now. Which also, this next one is also very small, as it's just another anniversary celebration. This next one is the Lodge celebration. So, yep, right here specifically. Also, at the time, we were currently preparing for LEGO's Island Summer at the time of me making this vid. Of the Lodge anniversary, as the island was starting to look like LI Summer, but was changed a few days later to its current design. So yeah, the Lodge was decorated for its second anniversary. It started on May 30th and ended on I think most likely June 1st, actually. Actually, no, I think it ended like a week later. Like a few days after. I don't remember its exact end date, but it was something. Anyway, you guys get the point. Just like the previous Lodge celebration, pretty much obviously just the Lodge was decorated. The colors changed from yellow and orange. They changed from that to dark blue and light green, which was a pretty cool combination. Don't know what I'm going to do this year for that, but I assure you it's going to be pretty cool. With that being said, what else? Not really much. Of course, there was another hat available and just some cakes lying all around the room. Not much was really to be said about this one, and at the time, we actually had the current time period for June 1st of 2018 at the time. So that was something. So with that being said, not much was really celebrated for this, aside from having the time period. So, yeah. That's really it. And next, we can move on to, well, a similar thing to what you're seeing on screen right now, and that is LEGO's Island Summer. Legos Island Summer 2020. My God, was this epic! Seriously, it was. It started on June 1st and ended on September 1st. Like always, and that's never going to change. It's always going to be like that. The theme this year was water. A difference also this year was not only just the theme, but more areas were decorated. This was also the first LS Summer not to have the water park decorated, as it would have been too obvious with the water theme. And don't worry, it will be decorated again this year because now it's not about water. I have another pretty awesome design in the works that will be this June for Legos Island Summer. Now, with the theme being water, we actually had a bit of a change. Instead of the water slides unlocking on the second half of the event, which, by the way, I just found out what half of 92 days is. It is 46. So guess what the 46th day of Legos Island Summer is? July 16th. Meaning that is the official half point day. The day we hit the halfway point of Legos Island Summer. So guess what, guys? Guess what that means? For 2021, expect the summer banners to go live on the 16th instead of the 22nd. Because now I finally found out what the halfway point day is for that event. So you can expect it to happen from now on. So with that being said, not much. Oh yeah, and there's the video actually. So yeah. Okay, I was checking the comments. Anyway, like I said, all of the water slides did not unlock on the halfway point. It actually unlocked every episode, the first 7 episodes of Legos Island Summer 2020. The days including of June 1st, June 4th, June 7th, June 10th, June 13th, June 16th, and June 19th. The colors were, well, blue, dark blue, what else? What else was there? Light blue, another dark blue, there were 2 light blues and 2 dark blue water slides. There was also, I believe, a white water slide, a black water slide, and finally a brown water slide. So that was awesome, right? That was 7 water slides in only just a matter of 3 weeks. Now that was impressive for just it being a water theme. Also granted, I also became an adult during this event, only on the 27th day of the entire event. So, that being said, what else? That was really it. Oh wait, hold on, that's not it. For one, unlike the previous Legos Island Summer, Evil Cook did not show up at all, and he will not be again this year because he said he was only having a few attacks this year, which was during Operation Evil Cluck of 2021. He did confirm that to me, actually. Evil Cluck did. And also Cook Everyday Free. So, that's pretty cool. Anyway, the point is, not only that, but this Legos Island Summer introduced over 10 new dogs into the Pet Cemetery, and technically to the island itself. Now, how is this possible? I have no idea. It only started happening towards the halfway point. Around July 22nd, to be exact, is when this all started happening. And we collected over 10 new dogs by the end of the summer, mainly by the end of the event. We put them all in the Pet Cemetery, and it was an absolute blast. So, that was the main part about Legos Island Summer 2020. One was it was being a water theme, with the water slides releasing earlier than the halfway point, and of course getting 10 new dogs introduced into Legos Island itself, and into the Pet Cemetery. Aside from that though, this year's theme for Legos Island Summer 2021
I don't have it fully planned out yet, but I have it mostly planned out as we speak. So you'll find out about it later on this year. But trust me, I will tell you, it will be an epic theme. It's going to definitely be much, and I mean much better than this one. Hopefully, at least. We'll find out this June. When we eventually get to it in the next, 5 months. Yep, only 5 more months until LEGO Zelda Summer. I can wait. We got a ton of things going on anyway during the time anyway to have us wait. Yep, while we wait. We have tons of things coming while we wait. So, no need to worry. Anyway, not much else for LEGO Zelda Summer this time, aside from the fact that so much of that happened of what I just said. And with that being said, let's move on to the next event, which was, well, I think you all know this next one, because it always happens in the second part, the middle part of LEGO Zelda Summer. This should be obvious. The 4th of July party, of course. You know how this goes. Always on July 4th, I set up small decorations for 4th of July in the middle of LEGO Zelda Summer. Why? Well, it's kind of been a thing since 2018, and of course it'll obviously come back this year in 2021. Just like how it did in last year. One big difference, though, was actually the fact that there was actually a brand new banner added in. Also, the firework rocket became an item in the event outside of the July 4th item booth. In fact, the entire July 4th item booth was also completely changed in an item-wise. It was completely changed from the firework rocket to a new banner called the American flag banner, which also were the brand new banners for the 4th of July party. It was originally only going to last one day, but I forgot to take it down the day after, so it actually ended on July 7th. The same thing also happened with the backyard one as well, which, if you want to go take a look at last year's backyard events, go watch last week's Saturday Stories to find out what I'm talking about. Well, just to know what I'm talking about. Also, sorry if I do keep messing up words. I'm talking a little bit too fast here for some reason. I have no idea. Why? Also, it's 12:57 a.m., so you guys can kind of expect that. So, yeah. With that being said, not much else. Pretty much just the whole island in general. Well, actually, the usual few rooms, such as, well, these areas, of course, were just all decorated like 4th of July decorations, of course, like the last few years. And it was pretty much, and I mean, legit serious, pretty much the exact same thing as the last 2 years. Aside from just the differences of the theme of LEGO Zelda Summer. But besides that, pretty much all the decorations were exactly the same. And that's all you need to know about that. Now let's move on to our next actual event, that is outside of LEGO Zelda Summer. Next up was the Labor Day party of 2020. It started on September 7th and only went for the one day of September 7th because that was Labor Day last year. And for those curious, if you're wondering when Labor Day is this year, it is September 6th. And yes, there will be another one of those, again. Because they're cool and interesting. Let's see, can I find any other piece of footage? Oh yeah, this one right here had to be my favorite room in the event. And there was a close comparison there to the last one. So yep, not many rooms were decorated compared to the previous Labor Day party. Only 3 rooms were decorated. Yeah, it was pretty small. And that's because of the next event that happened the day after, which I'll talk about in just a minute. Which was even bigger. Hence to why it even happened. So, a few new decorations were added. The Labor Day colors were changed a little. And it looked pretty cool from what we saw. Yep, only the underground party room, resort, and village were decorated for Labor Day. Not much else, those were the only 3 rooms decorated. And some potions were given out also to prepare us for the next event only coming a day later. And speaking of which, I'm going to get to that now because you guys are probably curious to know what it is. Or if you watched the original video back then, you know what I'm about to talk about right now. Take a look. The Operation Evil Cluck versus Evil Sheep Leader War. And good news, guys, this is coming back in Operation Evil Cluck 2021 as the first phase of the event. Why? It's because it was really freaking good last year, and also Evil Cluck confirmed it a while back. But that was also before I decided to combine it all into one event. This started on September 8th and ended the 15th. Now, what was the point of this thing? Well, here it's pretty simple. Evil Cluck and Evil Sheep Leader decided to have a war against each other to see which villain is better on taking over Legos Island. Now, if you're curious to know who won, it was none of them. I won, because I had to fix everything they destroyed through their various attacks around the island throughout the week. It was actually pretty cool. Also, there were banners that were released based off of the two villains, which were spread all over the island. Of course, every day of the event, both villains took over one room of the island, destroying it through their attacks. And it was actually pretty insane. Some of them were not as bad, but some were really bad to the point where it took me a while to fix. But some were not even that bad at all. I don't even know what they're going to think of this year for this year's war, which starts February 11th and ends the 18th, because that's the first week of Operation Evil Cluck, for this year at least. Now, well, actually, that's really it for that one. But besides the facts, not really much else happened. It just went on with the point. We had to fix everything around the island. Things they did included Evil Sheep Leader decoloring the pet cemetery, Evil Cluck changing the campfire back to orange even though I changed it to blue a day prior, and making a hole in the campsite. Others include Evil Cluck turning my cave into a summer paradise for some weird reason. Evil Sheep Leader making the lodge covered in snow. What else? What else did they do? Evil Cluck taking out half of the roller coasters in the theme park for some reason as well. What else? Oh, Evil Sheep Leader freezing up the underground party room. Yeah, I'm trying to remember this because it's been a while since I've watched the videos. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, those are just some few examples. If you'd like, you can go watch all the videos of these missions yourself in the Legos Island playlist, because they are all super cool and interesting. With that being said, let's move on to the next event, which this next one should be pretty obvious, because, well, it's that month, September. You know where things go here. The theme park's 2nd anniversary celebration, plus the fair 2020. It started on September 15th and was originally going to end the 20th, but then I realized that was too short. So instead, I ended it on the 24th. Originally going to be the 25th, but then I'll talk about that in a minute why, because there was another event that occurred on the 24th. And I'll give you a hint. It's something I said that was going to be remade later on in the year. And we'll get to that right after this. Let me just talk about that for a second. So, this year, for the theme park anniversary / fair, 2020, basically, there were roller coasters all over the island. 3 new ones, but weren't actually added to the theme park. A new park was introduced, such as the Time Travel Park. It was also the last park to ever be included in the theme park, now that the fact that we have literally no more room. So it was the last park to be added to the theme park. One thing that was a bit different, though, was just like the Zoids Lab April 2020 fair, and yes, I'll get to all the Zoids Lab 2020 events next week on the 23rd, so be on the lookout for that, because that is going to be very interesting to tell. Also, I don't think next week's will take as long, because some events were actually skipped last year in Zoids Lab 2, and free. Mainly Zoids Lab 3. Also, last year was also when Zoids Lab 3 came back. Anyway, I'll talk about all of that next week, but I can tell you the twist. similar to the fair last year in Zoas M2, was the fact of the silver tickets being only required to ride all the roller coasters and other certain rides. Well, guess what? That twist carried over to this event. And that did not just apply to the roller coasters that were set up around the island for the event. No, that literally required every roller coaster on the entire island itself, including the railroad from the port to the mountain. Yup. That even includes the ones that go to the village. Every single thing that had a railroad was locked by silver tickets. You needed a silver ticket to go on any of the roller coasters. Besides that, pretty much the rest of the island was just decorated as usual fair decorations like the previous years. And not much else really to say about that. Now let's get into the big event of the month, which actually technically this one was, but there was something even bigger that happened later on. Take a look, and this next one will be a very similar one. Like I said, something was remade later in the year due to it not being finished. That being, of course, you know it. Like I said earlier in the video, something was remade later on in the year that was never finished. And that was Operation Legos Island 2020. Because it was not finished in May in Operation Evil Cluck, we remade it in September of 2020, starting on September 24th and ending October 1st. This was even better than the original. And don't worry, this year's original Operation LI 2021, the one that will actually happen this year, will not have to be remade this year because we're actually going to finish it on time, unlike the original Operation LI 2020. Now, this one pretty much played out exactly the same as that one, but of course, obviously the time periods were different. And this time, we actually completed it this time. Yeah, we actually completed this one this time. Although I did skip one day, but then I made it up by doing both time periods in one episode.
The day I skipped was the 28th. The 27th. But then I made it up on the 28th by doing both of that and then the time period for that one as well. But besides that, we actually did manage to complete them. So this was a very cool thing. We did indeed remake the original Operation LI 2020 after not finishing the original. It was very cool indeed. More evil attacks were included, and there was actually a time period from the original Operation LI 2020 that actually did return in this one because it actually was never featured in the original, which was actually originally the third mission of the original Operation LI 2020. Now, that was November 21st, 2019. It was used on Mission 6 of Operation LI 2020 Remastered. And yes, that was the name, Operation LI 2020 Remastered. Or technically just Operation Legos Island 2020 Remastered. This was very cool as we actually got to remake something we didn't finish. And yes, it was actually finished this time, again, as I mentioned. So yep, 6 new time periods were introduced besides Mission 6. And it was very cool. Some of them include December 18th, 2017, which was the first one, which is actually the footage you're seeing right now, actually, for the first mission. The next one was January 18th, 2018. It's kind of funny because that's literally now tomorrow in 2021. Because now it's the 17th. Yep, it's currently like 1:10 a.m. I know, I'm crazy, but we're actually almost done for this. Not too many events left, actually. All we have left is just the Halloween event, Camp Island, Medieval Party, and that's it, actually. So not too much left. We're actually getting pretty close to being done with this vid. What else? September 26, 2019 was included. October 6, 2018. September 11th, 2019. November 21st, 2019, and a future time period, November 3rd, 2020.
this was very cool as we got to actually do this. And for this year's Operation LI, none of the time periods have been confirmed yet, but let's wait till we actually get to February to confirm that. Because I don't want to confirm them now and then they'll eventually change. No, let's actually wait till February so we know what ones we're actually going to go to. But I'll just let you know that Operation LI is in February on, well, you know what? I'm just going to give you the release date right here, because why the frick not? February 25th through March 4th, as that will be the last week of Operation Evil Club.
So that's all I'm going to mention about Operation LI 2020 Remastered. Let's move on to the next event. Which this one was also another brand new event. Alright, let's get to it. It being the fourth new event of 2020, if I haven't mentioned it. It was the Island Eclipse. This idea was actually suggested by CoolGamer33 at the beginning of the year in 2020. And my god, it was awesome, because I actually managed to make it. It started on October 8th and ended on the 15th. Obviously, the point of an eclipse was, of course, being the island being completely dark for an entire week. It was also to prepare us for LEGO Zelda Halloween 2020. And my god, I even just rewatched the video for that. It was still super dang epic. And we'll get to that one in just a minute. First, I will explain. The whole island was dark for an entire week because an eclipse was covering the island, blocking out all the sunlight. So it blocked out the sun, meaning the island was dark for the entire week from October 8th through the 15th. It was something very cool. It's not going to be coming back this year, although, unless you guys want me to. Although I think I might have another plan in store just in case. I don't know. We'll see. Do you want me to bring that back this year? Comment down below. I want to hear your feedback. Yep, I want to hear your feedback. Do you want me to bring back the Eclipse this year? Sometime this year? I'd like to hear your feedback, even though I got most of the year planned. I don't know, maybe I can throw the Eclipse in there somewhere. Would you like me to? I wouldn't mind doing it again, because it was so cool. But our next event is, well, take a look. The Close Shop Anniversary. Yep, there it is. Close Shop Anniversary. It started on October 10th and ended on the 12th. It was only meant to last October 10th, but then I forgot to take it down, so I finally did it on the 12th. So, with that being said. Of course, it just celebrated 2 years of the Close Shop with just more random decorations and just another yearbook. That's really it. Pretty much the same thing as the first anniversary party, just a different color in the banner and hat. And of course the yearbook being a little different. And also some cakes around as well. Not much to say about this one, so I'm just going to move on to our next anniversary event. It's kind of funny I'm mentioning this one, because guess what? I just took a look at the base a few days ago. It is still there to this day. The base second anniversary event. Yep, it is still there today. And I'm definitely going to have to go remove that soon. Because I've not actually been back to the base since this anniversary, meaning it's still there. Oh, rip. Oh, well, hey, at least I mentioned it here. So, yep, that's at least something. So, yep, all it was pretty much just the same thing as the Close Shop Anniversary. We just celebrated 2 years of me discovering that beautiful base. And yes, well, we're not going to go back to it in tomorrow's episode because I already have the episode planned. I'll give you a hint. It's that yearly zombie war we have on the 17th of January every year since 2019. Yeah, I just remembered that just today. So, yeah, you can expect that in tomorrow's episode. But then the episode after that, yes, we'll be back to the base. And also to clean all that up that you see in the background. It started on October 14th and is still yet to be taken down. Oh man, what is wrong with me? Yep, it is still yet to be taken down. It started on the 14th of October and is still yet to be taken down. So I'm going to do that
Actually, not in the next episode after that, because we got the May's anniversary. But in the episode after that, we'll officially take it down. So, yeah, it's literally been here for like 3 months now. I still have yet to go back to the base and take it down. So, with that being said, that's really it for this one. And now we can move on to the main event of the month. This one should be obvious. Legos Island Halloween 2020. This has got to be the best one I've made. Seriously. I am not kidding. This has seriously got to be the best Legos Island Halloween I have ever made. I put so much into this. I even just rewatched the original video, which is actually in the footage right now, as you can see. My God, so much was put into this. And it was just for Halloween. Seriously, why was there so much? The point is, all temporary rooms came back and they were all decorated for Halloween. Rooms such as the maze, the ice core rooms, the secret tunnels, the jungle temple, underwater room, basically all the temporary rooms that are known to be underground on the island, all came back and were decorated for Halloween in very special ways. This year's Halloween theme, was inspired by the Crimson Forest. And don't worry, I already have this year's Legos Island Halloween theme already in the works. You probably already saw it by the lab one that you saw in the lab anniversary party video around almost 2 days ago. And yes, we're going to go by that same theme again, just as you saw at the lab anniversary event. You probably saw what it was. Who gave any free guest trick-or-treating? And he is indeed correct. Well, guess what? The lab is not the only place to have that. It's also Legos Island, which you'll be seeing in October of this year. But back to last year's. So last year's was once again inspired by the Crimson Forest. It was absolutely amazing. You can even go to the Crimson Forest itself through a portal. Other than that, pretty much just the rest of the island was pretty much just decorated with usual Halloween decorations, but with the twist inspired by the Crimson Forest. However, rooms that were not inspired by the Crimson Forest were just decorated with normal Halloween decorations. It was very cool and very awesome. This started on October 15th and was originally meant to end on November 5th. However, just like the St. Patrick's Day party and Earth Day party, I completely forgot to take it down on the right day, so it actually ended on November 9th. That will not be the same deal this year, as I know what to do. Also, I made an entire episode of Legos Island cleaning up this event, which is still not released. You guys want me to release the video? But bear in mind, I will warn you, it's probably one of the longest videos I've ever made. Averaging almost 4 hours long. Seriously, I'm still going to release the video anyway. Because I wanted you guys to see actually how long it took. It took forever to clean up this event. Yes, I still gotta go release the video. I'll do that soon, at some point in the future. Maybe even next week, if not. So, with that being said, anyway, basically, pretty much the entire island, and I'm meaning literally the entire island, was decorated for Halloween. Literally every place on the island was decorated. And again, that's also why it took forever to clean up, because literally it was all over the island, including all the temporary rooms. So this was probably the most successful Legos Island Halloween, due to the fact that it was the most decorated one, with probably the most epic theme, but I think this year might top all of that. And no, I'm not going to go as crazy as I did for this one. No, we're not doing that again, where I decorate literally legit the entire island, including all the temporary rooms. Although if I do, the designs might be a little bit smaller just because it'll be a lot easier to clean up, just unlike last year. So, yeah. Anyway, the point is, getting back on topic, really, the point is, this was, again, probably the most successful one. Going by the Crimson Forest theme, you can easily see how much was able to be done with a theme like this.
A lot of the blocks were even themed to even be around this. And Halloween decorations on top as well. There were items every day related to each theme, the first week being about the Crimson Forest, the second week being about a haunted mansion involved or inspired by the Crimson Forest, and the third one being around trick-or-treating. Meaning there was 21 items available, in a total of a 3-week event. It was super cool, interesting, and I'm pretty sure this year is probably going to be even cooler, because it'll be very cool and very interesting just to see what I do for this year's. Also, unfortunately, if I have not mentioned it already, I do not know if I'm going to be bringing back the Haunted Mansion this year at all. I have no idea if that's going to be still true. Because last year, it took forever to make the Haunted Mansion. It did take a little while to also clean up as well. Heck, when the event originally went down, the Haunted Mansion didn't go down until like a day later, on the 10th. So, that's something to know. Also, it is also one of the latest LEGO's Island Halloweens before 2019, making 2017 the latest one, being October 25th. The second latest was 2019's on October 21st. The third latest was this year's on October 15th, and the earliest being 2018's on October 6th. Now this year's is actually going to be a little bit earlier than last year's, so be on the lookout for that. In October, of course. With that being said, that's all I got to talk about. Not too much else to say about this one, aside from the fact that we should probably move on, as we are very close to being done around here. We are very close to being done, so let's go ahead and let's keep going to finish off this whole thing. Right here, I'm only going to have a screenshot of it so I don't waste too much time. It is the Resort's second anniversary event. It started only on October 27th. It was originally only meant to last the one day, but like all some of the other events I've mentioned, I forgot to take it down, so it also ended on October 29th. So yeah, I forgot to take it down on the 28th, so it ended on the 29th instead. Yeah, at least that's not too bad. Okay, but it was pretty much just the same thing as the previous one. Just a ton of banners, a hat, of course, anniversary cake, of course. A number 2 being on top of the cake because it was 2 years at the time. And that was pretty much it. Also, I didn't really want to ruin much of my Halloween design for the resort, so not much was added. But it was still a cool way to celebrate the resort's anniversary. And don't worry, I know I'm going to do 3 years again. This October again. Yep, just to celebrate its 3rd anniversary. Don't worry, I'm going to obviously do one again. Every year. Never stop being a yearly tradition. Alright, next up, this next one will also be a bit small too. And, well, it's this. We celebrated the 400th episode of LEGO's Island on Halloween. It wasn't really much compared to previous milestone episodes, just like the 300th episode party. This one started on October 31st and came to an end on November 3rd, I believe at least, or November 4th. I don't even remember when this ended. So yeah. Anyway, this one actually featured, well, since it was on Halloween, which was my goal at the time, was to have it on Halloween. It's also the latest milestone we've hit for LEGO's Island, so we haven't done 500 yet, and that will definitely be later this year. As currently, right now, we are at 425 episodes as of recording this. So, yep. Pretty awesome, right? So, with that being said, actually, right now, we're actually at 427. I haven't updated the playlist to include the video I mentioned earlier about the takedown of LA Halloween 2020, as I've not uploaded that yet. And there's another video I have had uploaded to this channel, but haven't had it added to the playlist yet,
which is a LEGO Island episode I made on December 10th. Yeah, that's something. Huh? Oh wait, I did have it added. Never mind. I actually forgot to add the LEGO Island Christmas episode for December 17th for the event in here. Never mind. Basically in this event, how were the items given out? Well, they were given out via the candy stations. And that was pretty much it to celebrate 400 episodes. Like last time, it was just items from the last 100 episodes after hitting 300, which were pretty much all items that were given out earlier in the year. So that was really it for this one, not much. Moving on though. Oh, thank God we're almost done. Camp Island 2020, which also was the second anniversary event for the campsite. It started on November 10th and ended on the 16th, making it the longest Camp Island ever. And that will also be the same deal again this year, although we'll end one day later. So that's cool. Anyway, this year's Camp Island, actually this one in 2021 that you'll be seeing later on this year, will actually be the first one to last a full week. So yeah, that's something. Anyway, this one has to have probably been the most creative Camp Island I probably have ever made. Why? Well, this time I actually made it feel like an actual camp for once, even though the past 2 years, yes, have felt like camps, but this one I feel felt like a true camp. And I even just watched back the original video recently, which is the one you're seeing in the footage. And my God, was I proud of myself. And yes, those were new decorations. In fact, all the tents that used to be green in the past 2 Camp Islands were changed to orange. All the campfires were changed to soul campfires, and some brand new decorations were added that were never seen in the previous Camp Islands. For the port, for example, was brand new. And some other cool designs. I even mixed in a few custom elements to some of the old Camp Island rooms, just so they didn't look the same as the previous years. And there was more than just the anniversary hat and camp armor. Nope, I released the 3 Camp Island banners, the one being from 2018, 2019, and also the current one from 2020. This was probably the most successful Camp Island as I added so much into it. Even though it was only a 6-day event, it was still very incredible what I did, and this was all to celebrate 2 years of the campsite. I do not know how I'm going to do it this year in 2021. However, one thing I will assure you is that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to beat the success of last year's in 2020. And this was only 2 months ago, so who knows what I'm going to do? Oh well, we'll see. Obviously, it will start on November 10th again, like usual. So, with that being said, well, that's really it. Not much else was added besides just all the new other content that I mentioned. And well, that is it. We can move on to our next event, which is, well, take a look. The Jungle Temple's 2nd anniversary mini event. Like the first anniversary, not much was added besides just some cakes and banners to celebrate 2 years of the campsite. I even also just rewatched this video very recently, like yesterday. And yeah, I'm just looking back at all the old LEGO Island updates we did last year. My God, were they good. So yeah. So it was pretty much just the same thing as the first anniversary, just the banners being different, also the cakes being in different spots, and that is really it. It of course only lasted the one day of the 17th of November, because that was the 2-year anniversary of the Jungle Temple. It also was 2 years of the Adventure Party, so that was cool. So, with that being said, not much to say about that one, so let's move on to our next anniversary event, which only was a day later. The next one was the Other Side of the Island's 2nd anniversary event. It only lasted one day, the 18th of November of 2020. Like the
Jungle Temple second anniversary, it was pretty much the exact same thing besides a few differences with the banners being a different color, the cakes being in different spots, and that's really it. Besides that, nothing else was really there, just really besides just the usual decorations that you would see in these events. And that actually is it. So not really much was added here besides just that. So with that being said, I don't know what else to say because there really isn't much to say about this one. Just besides, it was just there to just celebrate 2 years of the other side of the island. Of course, I'll do the same for 3 years on November 18th. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. And that was really it for the other side of the island anniversary event. For 2 years at least. Well, time to move on to the main November event, which is one that we've all been probably waiting for in this video. The Medieval Party. Yep, finally! I even just recently rewatched this episode, and my god, was it beautiful. In this one, it started on November 19th and came to an end on December 3rd. This time, Evil Cloak came up with something very big, although I actually planned it all along. I planned for Evil Cloak to cast a spell on the kingdom, on the medieval decorations I made for this year's Medieval Party, and turn it into his own Dark Kingdom. To solve this, I had to change all the banners that were the Dark Medieval banners back to the usual Legos Island Medieval banners, which were blue and dark blue. So that was very cool. We had to do it in 6 different quests, and 6 brand new items were released for this party, alongside some old ones from the previous Medieval Party in 2019. It was very cool, very interesting, all the rooms were different, and some did happen to have a few old designs, but mainly it was all brand new. So in every mission again, we did have to change all the banners from each medieval themed room to back to be claiming my own Medieval Kingdom design. And speaking of which, the Medieval Kingdom was indeed open again to do all the quests from the previous Medieval Party. And that was really it. Nothing else really occurred here. So, yeah, that's really it. Not much else. It was a very big Medieval Party. It honestly, I probably have to say, and yes, here is footage seeing that the Medieval Kingdom did indeed make a return in this party, as it was all the quests from the previous year. Just for fun, of course. You didn't actually have to do them for a reason. No, seriously though, there is footage of me actually doing this. Yep, there is footage of me actually doing this. Yep, these were the missions. You had to change each banner back to these specific banners here to make it more like our kingdom again. Well, mine, specifically. So these were the missions. I had to change each banner back from Evil Cloak's spell to my own banner to claim back the specific rooms in the event. It was very cool and interesting. No idea what I'm going to do for this year's Medieval Party. Heck, I don't even know when I'm going to do it. Although I did say September, although I might change that just for the fact that I don't want to do it in September again. I want to do it in a different month every year. Trying to think. I know, I did say September when I was originally planning it out. Although, guys, granted, I was only just trying to plan it out. I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to do it in a different month. Maybe even May for why not. Although I do have another big event coming that month too, so maybe I guess we could merge that into one. Yeah, maybe we can try and do that, maybe before Legos Island Summer. Yeah, I guess we can try and do that. Maybe merge the Medieval Party first, and then do the big event for May, which I'm not going to reveal until May. Just like how I'm not trying to reveal the January event until January 20th. But I think I can do the Medieval Party for this year in May. But anyway, the point is, we had to really just go on quest just to change all the banners back to make it look like my kingdom again. Again, all banners and all rooms were completely different compared to the previous. The designs were also brand new. Because, of course, this was a completely different medieval party. And, well, that's all I gotta say about this one. So, what do you guys think? This has gotta probably be the best medieval party I came up with. It was really cool actually involving Evil Cluck into all of this. And no, he will not be showing up again for this year's medieval party. I think I'm gonna finally do one all by myself again, like we did in 2019. Although, there will be no boss fight. Nope, it's just going to be a good old medieval party this time. In most likely May. You know what, that's not a bad idea. Let's just do it in May this year. And then we do the big event of the month, which again I will reveal in May. That will come after the medieval party. So, that's cool. So, with that being said, that's really it for this one right here. But yep, it was a really cool idea, thinking of the Dark Kingdom concept for Evil Cluck changing my own medieval party design into a Dark Kingdom. That was awesome. We're not going to do that again this year because we already did it. And I want to think of something different, so we'll do something like that. With that being said, let's move on to the next event, which there's only like 3 left. And then we're done. Let's do it before hitting 2 hours. I'm just going to take the screenshot of this one so we don't waste too much time. The Thanksgiving Mini Event 2020. It started on November 26th and ended on the 29th. This year, it was located on the Pet Cemetery Mountain and inside the Pet Cemetery itself. This time, it was pretty much just the same thing. There was also now pumpkin pie added to the tables for Thanksgiving this time, and will be the same thing this year in 2021. It was also going on at the same time as the medieval party. It was also began at its second week. That was pretty cool. But not really much else changed aside from also having the turkey icon changed as well. Yep, that was changed. Alongside having pumpkin pie now added to each table. And that was really it. There were decorations inside the Pet Cemetery as well. You might even notice it right there. And also in there too. But that was really it. Not much else to say about this one. I do know when Thanksgiving is this year. It is November 25th. So, yep, I did look it up. Thanksgiving is November 25th this year for 2021. What else did this offer? Oh, hold on. What was it? Oh, right, the HQ anniversary at the same time. Let's bring that up now. The HQ anniversary. It started and ended November 26th. Well, technically it just started November 26th and ended the day after on the 27th. It, of course, was to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the HQ. It's funny because both Thanksgiving and that were both literally on the same day. So, I merged it both into one event. It was pretty cool and interesting, actually. So, with that being said, not much was really added. We did have all the HQ banners that eventually will become a reality at some point, that I'll actually have around the HQ permanently. We had all 4 or 5 of them. Not much to say about this, it was just to celebrate a year of the HQ. So all those banners were released too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Thanksgiving mini event. The Thanksgiving hat was also available as a new color again. But not much to say about the HQ anniversary either. And that was really it. Not much to say about this. No, really, there's not much to really say about these events. These 2 that I just mentioned. So, let's move on to, actually, I think the last one. Although, before that, on December 1st, the Advent Calendar arrived, featuring all 25 items. It was also the beginning of LEGO's Island Christmas. The series, of course. And speaking of LEGO's Island Christmas, we'll get to that in just a minute, as that will be the last event of the whole year, of course. So, with that being said, so that wasn't really much. All the Island Calendar doors were added again, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this part in the previous LEGO's Island events, Saturday stories, but I wanted to throw it in here just in case I didn't. So all it was just the release of the advent calendar. Now let's move on to the actual event itself. Legos Island Christmas 2020. The last event of the year. It started on December 17th and ended on January 1st. Now, there was a very special twist involved, and yes, I know we just hit 2 hours. But don't worry, this is it. This is the end. Yep, this is the end. Right here. So, throughout this event, a little fun fact, before the event actually began, right after the medieval party ended, throughout the 2 weeks of the island being normal and during the island calendar, every day, rooms for the event would be decorated early. And that would be sure to make sure the event does not take me long to make on the actual release date. And I might do the same thing this year. Who knows? Although I don't think this year's will take long to decorate, so I don't think I need to do that again. Unless you guys liked it from last year. I'm not sure. So with that being said, the whole island was decorated in a brand new theme, all revolving around gingerbread and ice. That was really it. Yep, so some brand new rooms. And also, the coffee shop was redesigned entirely for the first time ever. Like the whole shop was completely empty and redesigned. Like, everything was taken out and a brand new design took its place temporarily for the event known as the bakery. But don't worry, obviously that's gone now and it's back to its normal form again, the coffee shop is. But yep, throughout the island, it was all decorated like crazy, with the ice and gingerbread theme taking over, involving everything, including the snowy / icy dimension. This was the last Christmas event up until right now, which of course there has not been one since, because of course it's only January now, when we just went past through Christmas just now. So you can expect Christmas again for Legos Island in December of this year, with alongside the advent calendar once more. This, I honestly don't know if this year's Christmas event was any better than 2019's. No idea, but it was so cool. Involving an ice theme and gingerbread theme and mixing it together, the same thing happened at the lab, which again, I'll get to the whole event next week on the 23rd, which now, as I'm recording this, it is currently 1:47. And that's a good thing because we're literally about to end it right now. So, thank you all so much for watching the video. I know it's over 2 hours long. I did not think it was going to take me this long to actually get through this. I have been recording this for over 2 hours now, and I did not think we had this many events. Well, 2020 was a big year for the island, and 2021 will also be a pretty big year as well, but I know that the Zolozov events will not take long to showcase next week, as there's not too many of them. Or is there? I don't know. I'm going to have to go check and make sure how many there are. But I assure you it will not be a video this long next week. Oh, I assure you that one. So I'll see you guys later tomorrow for the Sunday vlog. Backyard video. By the way, sorry about no backyard video today. There will also be a Legos Island episode tomorrow for the annual yearly zombie war on the 17th every year. You know, when all those zombies take over the island on the 17th, we have that huge war since 2019. Yeah, that fun stuff. Anyway, those are actually the only videos tomorrow. It's just Sunny Vlog, Backyard videos, and Legos Island. And that is it, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for those videos. My God, it feels good to finally be done with those. To finally be done with this video, I meant. That's it, guys. See you tomorrow. And see you next week for the Zoids Lab events for 2020, where I talk about all of those. And trust me, it will not take this long to do that next week, as there's not as many compared to this. Man, 2020 was a big year for LI. Who knows about this year? We'll see. Find out. Bye-bye.